Hi, it's Gadget UK here again. Just a short video. This is a recent package from GRUSS Newton, GRUSS. So yeah, it's kindly sent me this Sega Trio M1. He mentioned, showed this in one of his recent videos. I need to re-watch that video because he explained there was a problem with it, and I think he's saying that the voltage wasn't there on one or two of the pins, or all of the pins. I'm not sure, all of the connectors. I'm not sure, so he's put me a list here. Hi Chris, hope you can sort this out. Should be a simple fix. Thought about making one myself, but I don't have the time. I understand what you mean, because I thought about doing this myself as well, but it is a pain in the butt, especially getting the right connectors. I mean, you can get these pretty easy actually. They're easier to find, these connectors, than I thought they were, because lots of power supplies use them. It's not, it's not. These aren't just, bespoke. They're not bespoke to the Megadrive. I think the one that might be a bit tricky, you could probably still get it, is the smaller one for the 32X. Yeah, so I look forward to the repair video. Now, this is where things get interesting, because I've powered this up and I've played around with the wires and it works. There's nothing wrong with it, absolutely nothing wrong with it at all. I'll show you that in a minute. So I'm a bit puzzled as to how it's going to be a repair, but there will be a follow-on video to this, and I will explain now. I'll just move that out of the way. As you can see, it's got these two prongs. Now, I don't know if this is an Asian thing, presumably China and other places have these two prongs like that. It's pretty lethal really. I can imagine plugging that to a wall socket, especially kids and stuff. You could easily get a lethal electric shock from that. So you need one of these. Now, I just happened to got one of these because I had one with a cheap EEPROM programmer I got, and I've never liked it since I got it, to be fair, because I've taken this apart and it's just it works off push contacts. They've got these studs on the back of these three prongs, and they just press onto the three connections inside. Now, there's no fuse, no nothing inside that, and again, there's no fuse here. So, and you just plug that in, probably that way up actually, like that, and it just sort of floats there. It does make a reasonably good connection, to be fair, but there is no fuse. I hope to God this has a fuse inside it, and for that very reason, this is why I said it's going to be a follow-on video, because I would not use this as it is. I make the exception with my EEPROM programmer because I plug it in and I'm using it and then I unplug it. I would never ever leave it plugged in, but there's a tendency with something like this, you could easily be playing for a prolonged period of time and then have to rush off somewhere, just switch your console off, forget that you've got it powered by this, plugged into there with no fuse, straight into your 13 amp socket. This plastic, these adapters in their own right are a joke. This has obviously been imported. It says there for export only. This has come from China, and the plastic there, that is not accredited plastic. There's certain types of plastic these plugs and sockets and adapters and things are supposed to be made for, using to sort of meet CE standards and British standards, health and safety, and all that sort of stuff. And you'll see there it's marked, it's 10 amp, and the thickness of this plastic, combined with the fact that it's not, I know that is not a safe material. I can squeeze it with my fingers, like I can feel it bending. That's just a joke. The thought of 10 amp going through that horrifies me. It seriously does. But if something went wrong with this and this is not fused inside, that's exactly what's going to happen. You're going to get a major electrical fire in your house. So just be mindful of that, and I would suggest that anybody who's got one of these, consider doing what I'm going to do to this, and I'll describe it now. But consider doing the mod that I'm going to do to this to make it semi-safe, really. And that is, I'm probably going to prise this open, which is going to damage it a little bit around the edges and things there, because you're going to have, ultimately you will have to prise it open probably with something sharp to get inside it. And then I'm probably going to get an old power supply case and fit everything inside there with a proper plug and a fuse and everything. The alternative is, if I can prise it open in such a way that I don't damage the case, I can reuse it. I'll remove these two prongs because they're just going to be soldered onto the PCB inside. I will probably fill the two holes there with something from the inside, maybe some tape and some hot glue or something, just so it can't, it's not exposed, and then cut a hole somewhere, put a mains cable directly in that is fused, so that this will just be a standalone unit that sits on the floor like that with a wire coming out, into here that's fused. Because without a fuse, like I say, you're seriously risking your house and your family and all the rest of it by certainly the risk. The chances of just leaving this plugged in. These things like this, customs and excise and stuff in the UK, they're fighting against things like this all the time, trying to stop things like this coming into the country. but certainly in this country I know that trading standards and stuff would jump up and down all over things like this being imported and sold, for the very reasons I've explained there, to do with safety. So you know, I really appreciate GRUSS sending this. It's really good, and I will use it. It's, you know, it's a fantastic little device there, and I wouldn't put anyone off, you know, I don't want to put anyone off buying one. But if you do buy one, just be mindful, like I say, that you potentially want to mod this yourself, or, you know, at very worst case, you need to make sure that I don't know, you think carefully about how you connect it up, because it only takes that, you know, like that, so that one time where you use it and you forget to unplug it, and you know, the next thing you know, your smoke alarms are going off in the middle of the night, and you know, your front room's on fire or something. So but anyway, yeah, thanks very much for sending it, Russ. I'm really pleased with it. I will use it. I've tried this and it does work. So I'll show you now on the meter. I'll just get my meter out and we'll have a quick look. So as you can see, you get blue LED there. So yeah, it seems to be working. So I'll switch my meter on. Just move it into shot a little bit. So voltage DC, got the 3 connectors here. So we'll start with this one that's marked CD. And you'll see there, 9.37, that's fine. And I've wiggled these wires around while I've done these readings as well previously. And it makes no difference, so it's not like a wiring thing, which is what I sort of expected. There you go, -9, it's just the way I've got the connections around there, so that one's okay. And then there's the smaller one for the Sega CD. Bearing in mind this one's a bit harder to measure because the internal pins are offset to a side, I think, or the top or something. There you go. Yeah, 9 volts. So it's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. I'm a bit puzzled really. So yeah, I'll rewatch the original video. But yeah, let me know what you think, or what you thought was wrong with it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you soon.